to my YouTube channel. We are going to be starting the series on .NET programming, specifically VB.NET, and we are going to be using Visual Studio 2019, and we are going to start with basic concepts and then some advanced topics in VB.NET. So let's get started. So today we are going to be starting week 11 of our course, web design and development, and we are going to be studying the concept of object oriented programming here. And here we are going to be focusing on inheritance and polymorphism, plus I'm going to tell you what object oriented programming actually is. Basically, object oriented programming, you people have already studied this course, but you should keep in mind that using object oriented programming, we are giving the concept of code reuse, and there are many factors that are important in code reuse or object oriented programming. With the help of classes, with the help of objects, inheritance and polymorphism, we can achieve object orientation. So basically we create different divide our code into different parts, and these parts are accessible by different objects, different functions, so that we make our code reusable. Those parts of the code, they can be used by any other program just by using their name. So what are the main or major components or features of object orientation? So the first one is abstraction, and then we have encapsulation. So basically these two concepts are implemented with the help of classes and objects, as well as functions and subroutines. Here in abstraction and both encapsulation, first I'll talk about abstraction. Basically abstraction means hiding the implementation details. You can use the code without having any knowledge about the code, their internal operation and so on. For example, you would use a class StreamWriter, but we have used the class console.writeLine, right? We don't know what's happening inside WriteLine, how is it is printing our variables and messages, but we are using this line. So this is known as abstraction. We have just got the name of method, we know how we have to use it. We have to write console.writeLine, and it is going to print any argument that is passed to it. So this is basically hiding the complex details and functionalities which we not need to know. So this object oriented abstraction concept basically is implemented with the help of methods and subroutines mostly, and with the class of with the help of classes and objects as well. And see this function, the math.sum function. Now how it is going to calculate sum and so on. If we pass it 2 parameters, it will calculate the sum of 2 parameters. If we pass 3, 4, 6, how many parameters is it going to display the sum? Now how it is managing all this? The abstraction is basically keeping us from any worries about what's going inside in that sum function. So that's called abstraction. And then we are going to shortly start the concept of classes, but before that I would like to tell you encapsulation. Again, encapsulation means that you have grouped related attributes and methods to make a representative entity. What does that mean? Related means that, for example, encapsulation gives us independence of binding data and methods, then work on that data. So for example, we have a class to find for example print the name of customers, and we also want to get the data or information about employees. So what we do with the customer, he or she will receive only the data regarding the customer. The employees, they are going to receive or update or add or delete only the data of employees. So basically it's like database views in which we provide authorized access. That is, only the related objects, only the related entities will access this particular data. So we have data all is together, but to DB customer or to customer we are showing only its detail. Customer can add, update, delete only his own data. The employee is using the same class, but he or she can update only his data. So it's about independence, and to prevent an unauthorized access like we do in views. So that's about encapsulation. And And we start the concept of classes, and it is the most important object-oriented programming concept from the book Visual Basic .NET Programming. And class is basically a template, and depending on your choice for whatever you want to make that template, from which certain objects are made. So every object of a class is known as an instance of the class. Say, I'll give you an example of a very common example of a car. So for example, class name is car, and the car has different attributes. For example, the year in which it first came to market, its color, its model, its make, the name of company, and so on. And it is abstract in the sense that it could represent any car of the world. For example, if I say my car, which is a model of 2001 Mercedes, its color is gold, it is a specific thing, it's not abstract. So it is basically not an abstract concept, but it is said to be the instance of the class car. So when you're talking about abstraction, like I told you that what is abstraction. So this concept is implemented here when we are creating objects. First, we say the car has so many properties like color, make, model, and year. Then we are saying that it has some attributes, and when we say that the color is white, the model is Mercedes, and the year it was released in the market was 2004, so it is not anymore an object or an abstraction. Basically, it's now an instance of a class. If I say that black car, Honda 2016, it's another instance of the class car. When I say black Honda 2019, it's another instance of the class car. So class can have methods, it can have variables, it can have objects, it can have events, and all these are the members of the class. Actually creating the classes in VB.NET, and simply in VB.NET we use this keyword public class of excuse me, not this one, public class show me, because this class is actually inheritance is shown here, which I'm going to explain later. So this is public class show me, this is the name of a class, and you end it with the end class. That's it. And as I told you that a class has attribute, methods, and so on, so you can add a simple method to a class. Method is known, a subroutine or a function is known as a method. So we have made a subroutine, display message. It is accepting an argument text as string, and display message box text I am a class. It will simply display a message box. So this is how you create a class, and inside the class, same like this, public class show me, and the method inside end sub, and the method end the class. This is how you will create a class and a method inside the class. Now of course we have to use this class. For using this class we have to invoke the class. We will use the different methods of class. For that we will have to use objects of class, that is different instance of a class. So this is how we will create an instance of a class. Dim x as new show me. X is object, as always use the keyword new for creating an object. X is an object of class show me, and this is our show me class right here. So what we are going to do, we are going to create a form in which we would have a button. Inside the button, when we click the button, we will create an instance of a class, an object, and x dot display message hello. Why I'm calling it instance of a class? Because here we are actually going to call the display message function with the string hello. Another instance can call the display message with a string bye. Another instance would be calling the display message function with the how was your day, or another could be welcome, goodbye, hello world. So this is basically abstract that anyone can call. It is just common, nothing, text, can be anything, but we are now going to specify it, create an instance with the while using these particular two lines. We are going to call the method of the class using the instance of a class. So let's see how we are going to do it. Simply here we have used this, it's on button click, you can simply see what I have done. I've made here, now this is form 2.vb. okay, this is form I have made. This is just a button. On button click it will display a message, and here you see I have so many forms. This is form 2. So how I created so many forms? You simply go to project, add form. So you can add new form. The name of this form here is form by 5.vb. You can give it my form, new form, my name form. Just click add, new form will come. But the most important thing is that always your application, see, it has so many forms: form 1, form 4, form 3, form 2, form 1. But your application, basically it is a solution. This solution is having so many forms, but your solution will run with the form, always with form 1. So now I want that my solution runs or starts with form 2. So I will just go to project, test event is the name of my project, test event, and inside here I will give start from form 2, so that it starts execution from form 2. So this is my form 2, and I can create so many forms. And when I want to see the code of this form, I will right click and I'll say view code. So I come to the code here. After this is the public class form 2. It is already created by default class. I haven't created it. This is my class. Public class show me, public display method, displaying everything. From where I have called it from button click. So when the button is clicked, an instance will be created and it will call display message with the string hello. So let's see how it will run. Build the solution. Build solution will build all the forms in the solution. And when I debug and start debugging, so it will start debugging from form 2, because I already mentioned it. See, button 1. So it is saying hello, right? Okay. So it is printing hello because I've passed hello. Abstract method of display message with another instance of the class, and this time I would pass the string by, and see, I have named it y. It should not be the same name, okay? It should have a different name. I have created another instance named y, and here I want to display by instead of hello. So the first instance will pass hello, and hello will be printed. After that, by will be printed. When I debug, I'll see the output, and when I press button 1, first hello is printed. Okay, now by is also printed. See, this is how you can create multiple instances of a class. And now let's see what else we have here. Okay, you can simply also, if a member of the class is marked shared, we don't need to instantiate an object. It is saying that if we for example here, if I write with my method shared, then I would not have to create an instance. I can simply call this method from straight here from this show me dot display message, simply using the name of the class. I don't have to create an instance if I have created a method with shared member. So simply what I'm going to do here, I am going to write sub shared. Okay, I'm going to give it shared name, and here I will not create this instance X. Okay, I'm simply going to use the name of the class. What's the name of class? Display shared sub. Sorry, you have to write shared here. Shared sub, and the name of class is show me. So I will write here show me dot display message. So it is simply not using any instance because I've shared the method. So without using an instance, I can display the message hello. So to make things easy, we can do like this. Don't need to create an instance because instance take memory and it can slow down the processing. So you can also use a shared. From making classes using the keywords I've already specified, you can also create a class library. It's simple as that. What you're going to use, you are going to go to project, add form, add user. Here you can add a class. So when I add a class, the class name is class2.vb. I can give it any name, my class. Okay, add. So what it is going to do, it is going to create a separate class which is not inside the code, or which is not inside the class. And that's how we can create a class library. Why I'm saying, because it's separate, it can be used by any of the forms given here. Any changes you make would be depicted in all the forms of this particular project. That's how create a class library. And then we have this is also very important, invoking a class using its namespace. Basically, at the head of each class are namespaces. So every class and every module is basically a part of namespace. For example, there is a namespace as system. So this is by default included. So all the methods of this system namespace are accessible by any form, by any class that you are going to make. So if you want your class to be accessed external to your project, namespace advantage is that not only that your current project where you have created the class can use the class, the files of another projects that are anywhere in your system or out of your system then can invoke your class using the namespace. Basically we have here the concept of namespace, how we are going to create a namespace. See this, we are going to create a class inside a namespace. Simply we have here, okay, so we have created a namespace. The name of namespace is Herald, and end namespace, everything is same. The public class show me, public sub display message, everything is same. And it is also but here we are not calling this namespace, right? But we would have to build this solution. We have already built it. We would have to build it just to make sure that the system knows that a namespace has been created. So just give this namespace Herald, the name of my namespace. I can give any name to this namespace. Now I am going to be going to my form4.vb, and here what we are going to do, we are simply says the recently created namespace. We have to create another project because our purpose is to access that class and its objects and its methods from another project. We are going to create another project, Windows Form application. Next I'll name it Herald, Herald name SPC, just for reference. You can give any name. Create. Now I'm going to click again. I'm going to use it like I did previously. I am going to add a button, toolbox button, just add a button, and on clicking the button I'm going to write whatever I want to. But before that we would have to basically add the reference of that particular project from which the namespace is, from where our namespace is. So here on right side references we will right click, add reference, and we have to select this is testevent.exe, which we have to add with this project as a reference, so that it can pick all the classes. So basically I searched for it. I went to browse, then I went here and see users, admin, source. Inside repo I have all my projects. The name of my project from where I made the class is basically class event. Here I will tell you, I have all these projects which I have made. See here, Herald namespace. I will select test event because my namespace is made in test event. Then inside I will go in bin and debug. Inside debug I have this text event, test event.exe. I will add it. When I add it, I will see it here. Just check it, the exe, and OK. Now if you see that the test event is added here, I am simply going to imports space, the name of my project was test event, and the name of the namespace I created was Herald. So I have imported the Herald namespace, and here simply on button click what I am going to do, dim X as show me. Okay, this was the name of the class I created, and the method was display message, and I'm going to display a message, how are you. That's it. That's what I'm going to do. And now we are going to build the solution. And here, okay, sorry, as new, right, we are going to give new, and this is double quotes. So let's now build the solution. Debug, start debugging. When I'm going to click this button, how are you is basically printed. Now if you see here, I haven't given any command for printing. I've just passed the string. That is, I've created an instance, and this instance will basically go to display message from here test event. Will pick the namespace Herald, and inside Herald I have the class show me and the method display message. Add different properties to the class. For example, class C person has a property of age, it can have a property of name, it can have any property and methods as you want, and you can add them and use them later.